Good afternoon. Welcome back to Cossy Arsenal Podcast. My name is Cossy. These are your player ratings for Arsenal, Manchester City in the Community Shield. We are ranking every player out of 10, every Arsenal player out of 10, including Mikel Arteta. Let me know how impressed were you with Kai Havertz, Rice and Timber, the three new signings. I think they were unbelievable. I think they were the three best players on the pitch, and Arsenal have just gotten themselves some very good players. Now, we had a couple of good performances. Hit the like button, subscribe in the comment box below. Rank every player with me out of 10. Let's start off with Aaron Ramsdale, 8 out of 10. Very good performance. A couple of saves in there. The Phil Foden one was the one that actually really caught me because Arsenal did make a mistake there. We did get caught up in defense. William Saliba tried to clear the ball. It really failed, and Ramsdale made himself very big, and somehow that didn't go in. Now, Ramsdale is one of the best 1v1 goalkeepers. We've got to agree to that. He's so solid. My problem with Rami is that goals you don't expect him to concede, and he actually concedes them. Now, that Cole Palmer goal, that was absolutely exceptional. No problems with my goalkeeper, no excuses there. It has to go in. Almost every goalkeeper will actually concede that. But the two saves, one against Phil Foden and the other against Lodri, and the penalty actually save against Lodri, it's an 8 out of 10 performance. Now, I think one thing Ramsdale can do, especially with Raya coming in, is he can improve his game, especially with penalties. Because David Raya is a very poor goalkeeper. He's a very bad goalkeeper when it comes to saving penalties. Maybe Aaron Ramsdale could become a much better goalkeeper if he can upgrade his game on penalties. Next one is Benjamin White. He really kept Jack Grealish very quiet. Grealish and Haaland ghosted in that game. But Ben White, for me, in that game, is one of those games where he really played very well, because there was a time when he created a very good chance for Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz maybe should have buried that. So it shows that he was really oscillating between going up front, creating those good chances, and then also defensively. If you can keep a player like Jack Grealish very quiet, I said this in the preview, it was always going to be a key battle. And because Jack Grealish lost the battle, Manchester City eventually lost the game. Ben White, 9 out of 10. That was a very good performance against one of the best wingers in the Premier League. I love that. If you can keep that up, there is a player in there. Jurrien Timber, 10 out of 10. The only 10 I've given on the player side in this one. He was just unbelievable. Offensively, passing, midfield dominance, defensively, he was solid. One of the things we love about Jurrien Timber is his ability to stay consistent throughout 90 minutes. You saw that. I don't know why Mikel took him off. I don't understand why. But he was very consistent. There was no one single time where Manchester City looked like they were the better side and they were going to score going through Timber. It was not one single time. And again, going forward, inverting into midfield without Alexander Zinchenko, he's going to be a very crucial player for Arsenal. Now, Mikel, for me, has a couple of problems, especially with players like Timber, with players like Declan Rice. He plays them out of position. With Timber, it is all right. He can play on the left-hand side. But with players like Declan Rice, if he wants to play as a defensive midfielder, why not just play him there? But Timber was exceptional, unbelievable. He is one of the reasons why Manchester City were actually blunt going forward. I didn't see Julian Alvarez. I didn't see Erling Haaland. I didn't see none of those guys in that game. So Timber, if you can keep those performances up, we have another Rolls Royce in our defense. Gabriel Magalhaes, 8 out of 10. Didn't have a bad game, to be honest. I think he's one of those players that the media are always going to be picking up. And I'm not going to pick on him. This season, I don't want to pick on Gabriel Magalhaes. Now, he had a solid game. He had a solid performance. He's one of those players that he didn't do much, to be honest. But again, he didn't do much wrong. My problem with him, and I've written it right here on the notes, that yellow card. Why do you pick up such yellow cards? It's unnecessary. It is uncalled for. You're coming out of play. They have a goal kick. Why don't you just go past the ball and move on? So if he can clean his game, if he can get his game to become a little bit clearer and cleaner, he's a good centre back. If he can get mistakes out of his game and those little moments of craziness out of his game, for me, he's going to be a very good centre back. So 8 out of 10. William Saliba, I'm sorry, I lied. 10 out of 10. We have 2 10s on the player side. 10 out of 10 for William Saliba. Erling Haaland is one of the best strikers in the world. Right now, he's the best goal scorer on the planet. If you can keep him quiet to the extent that Erling Haaland didn't have any shot on goal not on target, but on goal. He had 0 shots. If you can keep him quiet to the extent that he only had 13 touches in that game, if you can keep him quiet to the extent that he had 0.00 XG in the game. Literally, it means that Erling Haaland did not get any goal-scoring opportunities, and he didn't find himself in a goal-scoring area. That was very good. That was really good from William Saliba. Now, like I said, Saliba is one of the best centre-backs in the world, on the planet right now. If he can just become a little bit experienced. I don't know how he's going to do that, because it's going to come with playing games. But if he can add to his experience, the better, the more he plays games, the better he's going to become. He's such a very good centre-back. 10 out of 10. Thomas Partey, 7 out of 10. And I just say that he was not bad. Now, my problem with Partey, and this is something that Mikel Arteta has actually noticed, and we have all noticed, is that there are times when he's so good in the first half and poor in the second. There are times when he's poor in the first half and very good in the second half. He needs that consistency, especially between games, especially between halves in games. You cannot be oscillating between good, average, poor, good, average, poor, excellent all the time. So I've given him a 7 out of 10. It could have been an 8, but I just kind of feel like in the second half, he was just there, bowling around. I just didn't understand his performance in the second half. 7 out of 10, not bad, but he should have improved. He should have done a little bit better, especially that Arsenal were good in the second half. Martin Odegaard, for me, 8 out of 10. Again, one of those players that never ghost, one of those players that never get lost in a game. If he's not having possession, he's trying to win possession back. If he's not trying to score, he's trying to assist someone to score. Now, there was that groundbreaking pass that he laid off for, was it Bukayo Saka? Bukayo Saka lays it back for Kai Havertz, but somehow it doesn't get to the back of the net. And I said in my preview that Odegaard was going to be a key player for Arsenal in this game. Why? Because you want to beat Manchester City on the transition. You want to beat them on the break. You're going to use Saka a lot, and you're going to use Gabriel Martinelli a lot. And there is one player that is so good at finding Saka and so good at finding Gabriel Martinelli. That is Martin Odegaard. We saw that yesterday. Again, another good performance. He can get better. There is no question about that. He will get better. It looks like he's going to have another great season on the top. It's lonely at the top. Declan Rice, 9 out of 10. Best midfielder by a mile in that midfield. Rodri, for the first time, we played against him and we won the battle. Yes, we had 2 defensive midfielders in Rice and Partey, but Rice was exceptional in that game. There was that one time that I still remember, Bernardo Silva is running towards our goal, so he's comfortable in possession, and everyone is kind of pulling away from Bernardo Silva, who is approaching our penalty area. From nowhere, Declan Rice runs in front of him, wins the ball back, and before Bernardo Silva can actually react, the ball is gone. That is one of the things that I'm going to see, and we are going to see about Declan Rice this season. He will win the ball back in so many instances without fouling a player, but he will also win the ball back in so many instances where you feel like we are really out of possession, we really need to get into shape. He will actually come on and pull out a masterclass and help us win the ball back. He's one of the best interceptors in the Premier League. He's one of the best ball recoverers in the Premier League, if recoverer is actually a word. So 9 out of 10 for Rice. That was a very good performance. His best performance in an Arsenal jersey since joining us right from West Ham this summer. Martin Odegaard, Gabriel Martinelli, 6 out of 10. He was oscillating between good and bad, on and off. I didn't understand his game. Second half, not good. First half, very, very good. But I don't have a problem with Gabriel Martinelli. I know his game. He's going to become much better. The more games he plays, the much better he's going to be. Bukayo Saka, 6 out of 10, on and off as well, especially in that second half. In the first half, he was causing them problems, especially after the first 20 minutes. In the second half, I kind of felt like he was lost a little bit until Fabio Vieira was introduced on the right-hand side, and then Saka pushed a little bit inside. I kind of felt like he was oscillating between on and off. But I have nothing to say with to Saka. He's our most important player, and he's very crucial, and he's so good. And in that game, I don't think he ghosted. He's one player that never ghosts in games. That's one thing I love about him. Same with Gabriel Martinelli. Kai Havertz, 7 out of 10. The finishing was very poor. Now, I would have given him an 8 because he was unbelievable. His pressing, his physicality, occupation of space, investigation of space, the ROM data role is actually very, very good. But the finishing, it doesn't help us for you to occupy spaces and you don't score. So 7 out of 10, we should have done a little bit much better than that. Leandro Trossard, 8 out of 10. He's a game changer. He's a game winner. We know that. And that shot deflected off Manuel Akanji is the reason as to why we are talking about Arsenal being champions. So Leandro Trossard, and the penalty was good as well. Leandro Trossard did very well. Fabio Vieira, 6 out of 10. Not a very good performance when he came on, but the penalty gives him a 6 out of 10. I mean, he's good at penalties, isn't he? Like, he's taken the last two very, very well. And I think he will feel that this is his season. 6 out of 10, good penalty, boy. Kieran Tierney, 7 out of 10, apart from the mistake he committed when he was actually backtracking, and Cole Palmer, gave us a very good bender for the evening. I think overall his game was alright. Overall his game was okay. The manager actually brought on Kieran Tierney to start using the flanks, and the flanks actually opened up. And we created a couple of chances on the left-hand side when Kieran Tierney came on. Yes, we didn't, keep our clean sheet, especially with the record we had with Jurrien Timber on the left-hand side. But Kieran Tierney still had a very good game. Eddie Nketiah, 6 out of 10, just good. The overall impact, not so much, just okay. Mikel Arteta, 10 out of 10. He's finally beaten Pep Guardiola. That is a 10 out of 10 performance. Like, I mean, if you can stand your ground against Man City, then you can also be brave to attack them. You can be brave to be in possession, to have possession for a bigger chunk of the time. You are really, really maturing. So that was a very good performance. Those are my player ratings. Let me know in the comment box below who was your best player on the evening. And I'll see you right in the next one.